Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to part 2 of Dwight Yoakam. But I did part 1 already, which was just half of this interview. So this is part 2 of why Dwight Yoakam. Well, he talks about being rejected by Nashville. And so far what we learned in part 1 was that he said Nashville isn't a town for performance. It's a town for songwriting. Okay, I just learned something new. There are publishing houses there, royalties collections, ASCAP, BMI, all these guys are there. And it is true. So let's find out the rest of this.
They might hire me now if I'm still there.
I want to go back to what you said because I think it's key. What you're trying, that excitement that you had when you were, what, 16 years old at high school, and a big success, the excitement of it, the newness of it. Now you're still trying to do that. You have this new album out, Secondhand Heart. When one listens to the music from Secondhand Heart, fair to say that's what you're trying to capture on that record?
I think so, and it's not by conscious design. It's by a willingness. It began with the first album that I self-produced, which was a few years ago now. It came out in 2004. And it was titled Blame the Vein. And then it was several years between that album and Three Pairs, the most recent album to Secondhand Heart. And I self-produced Three Pairs with the exception of 2 tracks, which Beck co-produced. And Beck said to me when the day we were cutting the first song he and I did together, it's called A Heart Like Mine. I had played electric guitar on it. And I'm an acoustic guitar player. I never really mastered or worked on the art of playing electric guitar. It's a much more delicate kind of approach to playing the instrument. And I played this and sang this scratch track, I thought. And Beck came in and said, he was excited. He said, "You want to do that? You want to put another one down, another guitar?" I said, "Well, we're not going to keep that. We'll have somebody else do it. We'll have my guitar player." He said, "No, you better keep that."
This is Beck, and quickly describe, because some people don't know who Beck.
Well, Beck Hansen is one of the most interesting artists in pop music today. Deservedly, he got the 2 Grammys he got this year for the work that he did. Beck began his career on independent album radio back in the early 90s and has journeyed through a variety of musical styles and incarnations of himself.
Right.
He truly, purely is an artist about music. And he loves all of the forms of art, of musical expression.
And said, "Listen, you want to lay this down again? This is pretty good."
And told me I should play the electric guitar on it. So it went full circle to being a bit of a reckless teenager again, without kind of damn the torpedoes, and there's almost a sense of
it's talent,
musical immortality. You're not worried about killing yourself. You'll drive the car that fast. So that's what Beck and I did on that track, A Heart Like Mine. And I really believe that album and that experience with Beck was the catalyst for this current group of songs. And like I said, it wasn't anything conscious. It was just being willing to not be restrained.
Among the ways you've made a living over the years, in addition to songwriting and performing songs, you act. I remember the role in Sling Blade.
Yeah. It was a great film to be a part of. Great piece of writing.
Well, let's talk about acting. Do you like acting?
I did it young. I was in theater. The particular junior high I went to, they began a theater program there, and I got involved, and it was...
I wonder, just like the award shows, labels pay to have artists in those award shows and stuff. And artists who are way further along in their careers will talk about how they work. Or Megyn Kelly, I think recently was in the news where she was up for an award and she was debating whether she would go to it because of the way it works. It's money exchanging hands behind the scenes to get their person out there promoted. I wonder if, like, even with 60 Minutes, if like there's levers being pulled to promote an artist. Like here, like with Dwight, like, is that the way the business works? Because it is a business. All of this is about business and the music labels and all that stuff. But nonetheless, I love hearing these stories. I don't care who's paying for it behind the scenes. I like hearing these stories.
Found that I was pretty good at it, that I could hold people's attention and was able to perform. You know.
And you liked it.
I liked it a lot. I did a play after I moved to California when I was, you know, in my early 20s. And realized even if I did the lead in a play there and received some accolade for it, it didn't mean that I would have any control over my own destiny. Actors are at the mercy of opportunity, and actors,
That's key.
I mean, have to cling to their sanity, you know, for that reason, I think, because they're really about the odds and the gods, you know. And I realized that with that guitar and my voice, I thought I controlled my own destiny to a greater extent. So I thought maybe I'll have the opportunity later, and it did present itself in small ways.
You know what? It's the same thing with entertainers, though. Opportunities have to present themselves, but for him, he had built a following, and you can make a nice living too without selling out Madison Square Garden type places. I mean, the Allman Brothers used to play the Beacon for 3 weeks a year, and the Beacon is only about 3,000 seats, and they made a lot of money doing that, believe me. I knew the accountant for one of the band members, and he just gave me round numbers on what you can make, what some guys make. And it's astounding for 3 weeks of work. So, I mean, Dwight's right. And then he also had success with his albums. But that would be a great name for an album, that phrase he threw out there, the odds and the gods. That'd be a great name for an album. I don't know what would be on it, but anyway, I just wanted to present this. This is great insight into the business. So, and I'm fascinated with that because I'm always looking for different things to do, you know, work-wise or inspiration-wise. So there it is. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a great day. See you on another video. Keep rocking the country.